Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is my channel Ladybug Stitches. Today is April 11th and this is Flosstube number 28. I have a little bit of everything to share today, so I'm going to start with a previous finish. This finish isn't actually mine, it was my grandma's. And I did want to say thank you so much for all of your kind words from my last video when I was talking about them. I really do appreciate everything and I love talking about them and I love sharing things about them, so if I can I will do more going forwards, but today my previous finish is something my grandma had made. She had a whole bunch of these. These are plastic canvas, you might have seen it, it keeps popping up. She did a lot of plastic canvas projects. She got me into it actually. And she had a lot of these wreaths that she would do for different holidays. They were all kits. I actually have a lot of the kits. She saved them and I inherited them. But this is one of my favorites. This is the Easter one. So it is 6 of the same Easter bunnies with these plastic rings in the middle. And then it says Happy Easter. And then it just hangs on a little string back here. And we usually put it on a window or a mirror or something. I really like putting all these out for the different holidays. She has a couple that are wreaths and then a couple actually that are garlands, which are really cool. So they all have like these little creatures or people on them. She has one for Thanksgiving with some pilgrims and turkeys. And then she has 2 Christmas wreaths. One's Santa like this, and then one is like an actual wreath with a whole bunch of toys in it. I think she has a couple others, I just can't remember. I'll try to show them with the different holidays when I pull them out, but I really like this one. It's so cute. I like all the different bunnies on them. So that's where I get a lot of my crafting from. She did a lot of different things, and she does some really good work. Okay, so that's my only previous finish. But I do have 2 FFOs. One is an FO and an FFO, and then one is just an FFO. I will start with the one that was an FO and an FFO. I finished Hands-On Design Pumpkin Spice Farm. I really wanted to crank out on this and get it done, and I think I said that in my last video. I really wanted to get it done. I didn't have a lot left, and I was able to get it all done, which is very nice. And I fully finished it. So this is what it's looking like. I made it into a pillow. I did this on a 14 count coffee tea dyed Ada with some flosses that I pulled. One thing I did kind of change was the blue is supposed to be a darker blue, I believe, and I made it a pretty light blue. I don't know why, I just pulled that color and I actually think it looks really good like that. And so I added this fabric to the back, and then I did a gray cording that I made for the top to kind of pull the gray in, and then the blue kind of has some gray tones to it, so that also kind of pulls that in. And then I really needed something else, so I have these clips that I've gotten from like clothes tags and stuff like that. So I have like a couple. They're like round at one end and then pointy at the other. And then I just had some beads that I had taken apart from some bracelets and stuff. So I just popped them on there. I've tried to match the colors a little bit. So I got a blue one and a green one and an orange one. It's just a little something extra. And then at the top, when I tied all the cording together, I just tied it into a little knot, and so it's kind of loose. But I think it looked kind of good. I didn't want to have to try to like glue down at the bottom, and I hate messing with cording sometimes, so I just tried to do that. Something different. And it was fun to try it. So I'm really happy with this finish. I think it looks really cute, and I'm excited to put it into my fall display. This piece, I've had this pattern for well over 5 years probably. It was probably one of the first patterns I ever purchased from 123 Stitch when I was getting back into cross stitching. So it's been in my stash for a long time, and I am glad that it's finally done. Okay, the next FFO is my piece that I did in commemoration of my grandparents. It is called Together Again. So I just framed it. Super simple, try not to get the glare. The frame totally doesn't match, but this was a frame that was in my grandparents' house. I don't know if it was from my grandparents or if it was from one of their parents, because they had picture frames from their parents stashed away as well. A lot of them had pictures in them still, so when I was going through everything, I pulled all the frames together and I took all the pictures out, and so I just have like 4 or 5 bags of picture frames that I need to use up. So I thought it kind of worked, and I didn't have to add any more fabric, and I didn't have to cut it down or anything. It worked pretty perfectly. So this was done on a blue and brownish grayish not coffee tea dyed, 14 count Aida with some random flosses that I pulled. And if you are interested in stitching this, I know I had a couple of people say yes. It is on my blog now if you're interested. I'll try to link it down below. I did not chart it with these colors that I chose because these were just random unnumbered flosses that I had. So I just kind of tried to pick colors that looked pretty similar. So, but you can always pick whatever colors you want. You don't have to choose what colors I did. And then on the back, I literally just taped it in. And I didn't have a hook, or I have hooks where you like hammer it into the frame and then you can hang it on the wall, but I didn't feel like, it's like, this is metal and I didn't want to mess with it. I had gotten everything together already, so I just put some wire on the back and taped it on. It'll be fine. I've done that to other pieces and it's fine. If it falls off, then I'll just retape it back on and it's no big deal. So I am very happy to get this one done and on my wall. This one also has been lingering for a long time, since 2022. And I'm happy it's done. So those are my 2 FFOs. I have a lot of whips and 1 new start. So I said that I was kind of thinking about doing a new start, but then afterwards, like a week later, like for a week after my video, I was like, I don't know. It has been 2 weeks since my last video, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I just got concerned there for a minute. No, I think it has. Anyway, for a week like after my video, I was thinking, no, I shouldn't do a new start. I don't have a lot of whips that I finished that I really want to get done, and I have a lot that are just sitting around. I really want to get them done. But then I went through a whole bunch of whips, and you'll see when I go through all my projects, I just couldn't settle on anything. Nothing was really calling to me. So I thought maybe I'll just do a new start that's kind of small, so it's not like I have to work on it for a long time if it's a big piece. So this is a pretty small piece, and I already know how I'm going to finish it. So, and I've already got like, I don't know, maybe almost halfway of it done. This is Miss July by Sweet Wing Studio. It's a super cute small pattern and it's so pretty. And I already knew what I wanted to do with it, so I figured I might as well go ahead. This is where I'm at. I just have the flag done. This is actually a, let's see. This is a 32 count light blue Lugana by Witchelt. I've never stitched on anything higher than 28 count before, so I wanted to try it. I've had this piece of fabric for a very long time, several years, and I just wanted to try to find something to put on it, and I figured this would be a good piece because it's a 4th of July piece. Hopefully you can see that. And the holes are not a problem at all. I can see them pretty well. The only problem I had was, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to stitch it with 1 strand of floss. If you stitch on 32 count, let me know if you do 1 strand or 2 strands, because I've always done 2 strands on everything. And I'm just not sure if I like the coverage of it. It just feels very sparse. Like when I look at it close, it's just, I don't know, I don't like the look of 1 strand. I'm obviously going to keep going with 1 strand on this one, but maybe for the future I'll try 2. I know it might get kind of tight, but I'm not sure. It was kind of upsetting a little bit. Not upsetting, but like, oh, you know, kind of sad. But I think it's turning out otherwise pretty good. I was going to work on her hand that's holding the flag next, but then I realized I didn't pull a flesh color, so I couldn't really continue on it anymore. So that's where I am. And then I was thinking, I have this box that's like a cardboard box. Somebody had given it to my mom. She didn't want it. It's not her kind of decor. And it's got stars on the side. And so it was just kind of like sitting around, and she didn't want it. And I have a red one too. So I decided, I think this would look really good on here. I did the measurements already, and it's already kind of circular. It's in a circular finish. So I think that would look pretty good there. And the blue, I think the blue would match. It won't be too bad. I think that would look pretty good. So I'm going to try to get that done on there. I already have this in my project bag. So it's all ready to go. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't think it'll take too long to stitch, as long as my hands cooperate, but I want to get this one done soon. So that's my new start. I don't have a lot of room again today. Okay, and now onto the rest of my whips. With my designs, I've been working on a couple of different new releases. One I finally did finish. I've been working on that one for quite a while, and I finally got that one done. If you've seen my stories on Instagram, then you probably would have seen that pattern. And then in between of working on that one, I was also working on a 3 little pillow set, and I did get that one not done, actually. Got it almost done. I'll show you little sneak peeks. So I got that one, and this one, and then I was working on the last one, but I don't like the way I designed a part of it, so I have to go into my computer and try to fix that. So that one's been sitting for a little bit, so I decided to move on to my next piece. This piece, I'm gonna try to release these. I think this one's a June release. The other two are May, I believe. So this is my next piece. It is a monochrome piece, and it's actually with overdyed flosses, which I'm excited about. But I've already gone through one whole skein of floss, so you're gonna need 2 skeins if you want to stitch this one. Okay, so those are my designs. Next we have Nature's Journey by Sprouting Lupine. And this is what it looks like. I am up here in the spring. The summer piece is going to be released pretty soon when the next Just Cross Stitch. This is in the... I am ripping this magazine to pieces. It's in the spring issue of Just Cross Stitch. And so the next one is going to be released really soon in the next issue. And I'm nowhere near ready to start the next one. So I've kind of accepted that I'm going to be a couple years behind on this project. It is what it is. I really love this project. It's just, it doesn't really call to me that much. And it's just kind of annoying to work on for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it's on an 18 count that's like super dyed. So the fabric is really small. I don't really know. I just feel like I'm so far behind already on it, and these leaves up, or the tree branch up here with all the leaves and the petals and everything, it's so big, and I think it's just intimidating me, even though I'm nowhere near ready to get that part done yet. But here is where I'm at. What did I work on? I think I finished these leaves here, and then I just started, I don't know if you saw that, I did the flower last time, I think, and then I started on the snail, I believe, the little snail there. It's kind of hard to see in this light. It's really dark out today, so I had to turn on a bunch of different lights, so hopefully it's not too bad. But I'm pretty far behind, and it's just taking me a while, but when it's all done, it'll be really pretty. And then I could put it on my wall. I love this project so much, but I just don't feel called to work on it that much, unfortunately. So that's where I'm at on that one. Let me put everything away, because otherwise everything gets lost and messed up. Okay. The next piece that I have is, okay, so I pulled this one out after I finished Pumpkin Spice Farm. and I was going to be away for the weekend with my dad, so I just brought one project. I wasn't even sure if I was going to stitch at all, and so I was like, this is a project that's nowhere near done, so I might as well try to work on it. This is Silent Night by Cottage Needleworks. This is one of my favorite pieces as well. I've had this pattern almost as long as Pumpkin Spice Farm, or maybe even longer, I'm not sure. I found this project, this one used to be really popular back before like 2020. Everybody and their mother was stitching this project, and I fell in love with it, and I purchased it, and I even dyed some fabric, but I just never stitched it for some reason. I don't know, I was just intimidated and just never got to it. And then I started it with Mania last year, and I'm actually pretty far on it now, and I'm really happy. So this is where I'm at. Let me put this behind it. I don't have a board or anything to clip it to. Okay. So when I started stitching it, when I picked it back up, I had the whole church done, this tree over here, and then some of the snow down at the bottom. So I really zoomed on it. I got these 3 trees done. I did 1 row of the snow, all the snowflakes, the words, and then I started up at the border at the top. I'm loving it now, seeing it. Like when I was working on it, I was like, I don't know, it's just like, I'm working on it and I'm liking it, but I'm not really being called to it. It was the only thing I had to stitch on at the time, so I worked on it, of course, but now looking at it, like, that's really pretty, and I really do want to get this one done. It's just, oh, I already have the finishing piece, and I know what I want to do with it, so I just want to get this one done. I wonder if I could get this one done before Christmas this year. That would be really nice, because I really don't have a lot to do. I have 4 snowflakes over here. The border, which isn't that hard, because I already started it. And then the words, all is calm, all is bright at the bottom, and then the border at the bottom, which is the same as the top. So it's really not that much left to do. The church was the biggest piece to get done, and I got that done first. So this is on a 14 count blue Aida that I dyed, and I'm using the called for DMC. I'm pretty sure. So that's where I'm at. I do have a couple rows of snow here at the bottom too. I forgot about that. I'm not looking forward to that, because I use this in, I stitch on this in a hoop, and so I have to go back and forth a couple times. That's how I'm gonna do it, and that means I have to stitch in hand, which holding all this fabric is not too much fun. But it's gorgeous, and I will definitely be getting this done this year. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna get this one done this year. It deserves it. Okay. I wonder, I don't know if I'm going to work on it in the next 2 weeks or not, but seeing it, I might now, because I really don't have that much left. Okay, the next whip, and actually let me do this one next instead. Ooh, avalanche. Ooh, sorry if I shook you. The next whip I have is 5 Kittens by Joy Sunday Cross Stitch. This is a pattern that my cousin gave to me for my birthday, and it is a printed canvas, right? I don't know, my words are not coming out today. My brain is not braining. This is where I'm at. I'm almost done with this cat here. I just have a little bit of the dark gray left to do. So I worked on that part, and then I brought the black up over here, and then I brought the black up over here more. So all of the yellow is going to be black, and then I have this whole cat left to do. And then I have some back stitching, lots of back stitching, and some French knots here up in the sky for some stars. So it's a little bit deceptive, kind of looks like it's not that much left to do, but then you realize you have all the back stitching, which is a lot. So a little bit more than I was expecting. So I want to get this one done, but it's a really hard, thick fabric. It's at 11 count, so, and it's printed, so it kind of hurts my fingers, so I try not to stitch on it too much, but I really do want to get this one done. I really like it, it's really cute, and I want to frame it, but it hurts my hands too much to work on it so much, so I don't do it too much, but that's where I'm at on this one. Okay, so after that, and before I did my new start, I was kind of fumbling for what I wanted to work on next. And I tried out a whole bunch of different whips. I was pulling things out, trying to figure out what I wanted to work on. I went through everything. It seems like I don't have a lot of whips left. I've gotten 4 whips done out of the year. I'm pretty sure I counted right. I'm still in the 20 range in my whips. I really do want to bring it down, but I feel like the rest of my whips, like, they're all awesome and I want to get them all done, but they're not, none of them are really calling to me. I feel like when I was, most of them are from Mania last year. I feel like when I was doing Mania and pulling things, I was just kind of like, well, this one's been sitting in my stash for too long, so I have to get that one done. And oh, I feel obligated, I have to get that one done too. And just kind of was doing that for a while. So I feel like all the ones that I really, really, really wanted to stitch, I kind of got done already. And now I'm just kind of left with a whole bunch of patterns that it's kind of like, meh, that can sit. But then it's like a lot that are sitting, so I don't want them all to sit. And I have a couple that are Christmas. I think there's 2 whips that are just Christmas ornaments, so I can't work on those until Christmas anyway. Because I do a whole, if you don't know, I do a whole Christmas ornament thing in Christmas time, starting November 1st. Usually I just stitch Christmas ornaments, and I try not to stitch them any other time of the year. I don't know why, it's just a thing that I do. So I was really trying to see what I had left that was kind of calling to me. And I had this pattern, which is Pie Menu by Cottage Needleworks. I was thinking when I was doing my video last week, I thought this would be the pattern that I pulled out next. I did this one day of Whip Mania and then I put it away pretty much, and I didn't work on it anymore at all. I had 2 words done. It was apple and pecan, and I had to restitch pecan when I did it the first time because I stitched it in the wrong color. So that kind of like pushed me off from working on this project for an entire year pretty much. So I thought I would try to pull this one out because it's just it's kind of hard to see. It is a lot of words, mostly words, and then just some border and a little pie. So it's not a lot. I thought this one would be kind of quick, but it did not end up being kind of quick when I was stitching it. So I didn't stitch on it too long, but I also will say part of the reason that I wanted to stitch this one next was because when I'm trying to work on projects, I try to think, okay, how can I finish this? How can I display this? What I want to do with it? And that kind of motivates me to get it done. Like this piece, I knew I wanted to frame it or pillow it. This one, I knew I wanted to frame it. So I knew what I wanted to do, so I was more encouraged to get it done. This one, I have no idea. So I still don't really know how I'm going to finish the actual piece. Which is really kind of disappointing, and I'm not sure what I want to do, so it's really not motivating me. But I was laying in bed the other night and I was thinking about this project because what else am I going to think about, right? And I last year started working on felt pies that I wanted to go with this pattern. So in the pie menu, the different pies that are listed are peach, strawberry, apple, pecan, blueberry, key lime, cherry, and pumpkin. And so I started working on mini felt pies that were like replicas of those kind of pies. And I started working on them. I was designing them from scratch, so it was a really long process. I think I showed a couple of them last year, or like my process or something. I don't know, I can't remember. I just kind of stopped working on it because I just wasn't getting to the point that I wanted to get to. But then I was laying in bed last night or the night before, I can't remember, whatever. And I had this idea of having the pie menu on my little shelf over there that you can't see. Having that there, and then I found these shelves, like it's a 3 metal shelf, kind of like this one right here, made out of the same stuff, but it's like long shelves. And I really liked that idea of having all the pies displayed on that shelf and having like, I know there's a a pie pattern in one of the Just Cross Stitch magazines from Cute Embroidery by Kate, and I really want to stitch that one as well because I think that would look really cute, like tucked in between all the pies, and then having like baking stuff all mixed in, because this pattern I really like because I bake pies every year. I used to do it with my grandma for Thanksgiving every year, like 1 or 2 days before Thanksgiving we would have a day and we would just bake pies. We had made everything from scratch, so it was just kind of like something we did together, so like that's why I bought this pattern to begin with. And then I think that would be really cool to have like that kind of display. And I'll show you my haul. I did not get that shelf because I couldn't find it anywhere, which is so disappointing. I still might try to look up for it online because I really like the idea of having that tray. I did get a different tray for now, but anyway, all that to say, I really want to get this one done for that, but the pies aren't done. I don't know how I'm going to display this actual stitching piece. So it's kind of like grinded me to a halt. So I might try to pull out the pies, the felt pies this weekend, to try to see what state they're in, how can I keep working on them, how am I going to do it without destroying my hands anymore, because they're all hand sewn. So maybe I'll show you them in my next video if I get them to some kind of state that I can show them. But in the meantime, I did work on this pattern a little bit. I got 2 more words done. So I had apple and pecan, and I did blueberry and key lime. This is on a 28 count linen or something. It's really see-through. And I don't like that as much. I don't like the fabric, but I wanted to use the fabric up. So that's where I'm at on that one. I only have 2 more words after this, and then I think I was going to try to do some of the border. But that's where I'm at for now. I'm not too far. I'm going to try to pull this one back out in the next 2 weeks, but it also doesn't call to me too much, which is unfortunate. It would be nice if I could get it done before Thanksgiving, but then I also really want all the pies done too, and I don't know if that's gonna happen. Okay. And then after working on that one that day, it was kind of not really calling to me during the day, so I was trying to scramble for another project that I can work on, and I pulled out Enchanted Realms Stitch Along by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This was a stitch along, let me take this out. This was a stitch along that happened last year, and I got horribly, incredibly behind, and there was no hope, so I just kind of gave up on it after a while. But I'm going to try to get it done. It's a really cute stitch along. I am on the 3rd part here with the fairies. The first part was the dragons, and then it went down to the mermaids, and it's going to continue in a circle going this way around. And what I worked on is I just filled in the mushroom top. That's all I did. There are 2 more fairies up here that I have to do. There's one here, then one up here. I don't have the pattern pulled out, but there's really not too much. I think there's some more trees up here in this part, and then I can move on to the next part. This will definitely not be done anytime soon, but it would be nice if I could get it done soon. This one also really doesn't call to me that much. The reason that I bought the pattern was because I really liked the mermaids down at the bottom. And then I got that done second, and then I was kind of cool. I didn't want to really continue it anymore, but it's not in a state to be finished, and I would like it all done, so I will push forwards. This is on a 14 count Ada that I dyed to try to look mythical. Enchanted. I don't know, it's like bluish and purple, and I don't know, I added a whole bunch of different colors in there, and it's kind of hard to see because it's so dreary out today. But this is with the DMC flosses as well. So that's where I'm at. Slowly but surely it'll get done. Okay, those are all my whips. I have a little bit of haul. I wasn't going to, but let me show you this one first. I had to order some floss from 123 Stitch, and you can't let floss travel alone. and this pattern was on sale, so I decided to pick it up. It is Honey Postage Stamp by Cute Embroidery by Kate. I really love her postage stamps. They're so cute. She has a couple free ones. There's one for each season, and then there's a couple other ones that I want to do too. I've done the summer one, I believe. So I would like to get the rest of the seasons done, and they're really quick. They're like this big. They're really not big at all. So it's just a cute little pattern that I want to get done. Her honey, there's a whole bunch of different honey ones, and I think they're probably my favorite because I really like bees. So I have to buy them eventually. And then yesterday my mom asked if I would go to Michael's for her because she wanted me to pick up some Mod Podge for her so she can glue her puzzle together, and she gave me her credit card. So she said I could pick up something if I wanted to pick up something for myself. And I did, because it's a half-an-hour drive down and then a half-an-hour drive back, and I wanted to get something for myself. So I found this shelf instead of the other one just for now. It was only $10. It was half off. It was $20. So it's just a cute little shelf. It's kind of hard to see actually how big it is. It's very small. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I thought maybe the pies would fit on here because I don't know how many pies I'm going to get done to begin with, kind of. So I have this just in case I get them, a couple of them done at least. And it's cute. So I'm going to replace this with, or put this in place of my other tier tray that I have on my other stand over there. You might have saw it in my spring decor montage that I added to my last video. I don't need an extra tier tray. It was my mom's. She got it from one of her grandparents, and I just borrowed it because I needed a tier tray. So I'm probably gonna give that back to her. I just don't have enough stuff to sit in another tier tray for right now, so I think this will fit there instead. And then I just found this green ribbon because I don't really have a lot of spring or summery ribbons, so this one would be good. So that was all my haul. It wasn't a lot. I wasn't expecting to get anything except for the pattern, so that was a lot more. Plans. I really want to pull out next my cat sampler, I think. I really want to get going on that one. So I guess this is kind of like life updates too. So I have all my barn cats, and we've been trying to get them all fixed because we just kind of got really behind on getting that all done. It's been a really busy, crazy couple of years, so we just kind of let that kind of go to the wayside, kind of. But it's something we really needed to get done. So last week it was up to me to trap and somehow secure a couple of cats so that we can get them fixed. We had a lady that came and picked them up for us because it's part of a TNR group kind of thing. So she came and picked them up for us. We had promised her 5 cats, and I did not know who I was gonna get. I know there's a couple that I could pick up that I could put in carriers, but all the rest, they're kind of feral to a degree. Some of them, most of them I can't really pet, but they are friendly to me. So I am the one that they're the most friendly with, so it was up to me to do everything. I set traps out during the day, and I managed to catch 6 cats instead. So we got 6 fixed. They're all doing very well. I finally saw them all. One of them was really upset with me that she didn't want to get fixed at all, and she did not like being in a trap, and she was freaking out the whole time, but she finally forgave me, and she came back to yesterday. I saw her, and then today she got some ham as a treat, so I think we're okay now. So in light of all that, I really want to get more cats done on my cat sampler, so I can, these are all the cats in my cat sampler now are pretty much ones that I haven't seen in forever. They've either passed or moved on or whatever, so I want to get them done so I can move on to the cats that I actually have here now. And I haven't even designed that part of the sampler yet, so I want to get moving on that. I really only have like 6 cats in the sampler stitched already, and there's a lot of them in the sampler. So anyway, I want to get that one at least one more cat done in that one. And then I'm just going to try to pull whatever whips are calling to me. And I don't know what's calling to me until I pick it up and start stitching it, really. So it'll be a decision I make in the moment. Okay. And then just life updates. I forgot in my last video that I had gotten a lot of comments about my hands in the video prior to that one. So I do appreciate all of that as well. Thank you. I had gotten some questions about it and I forgot to address it in my last video. Yes, I do have a lot of problems with my hands. It had started in 2021, I believe. I had no problems prior to that, and then I was working on my really big map project, the Avatar: The Last Airbender map, and I had been grinding away for that project every single day. That was back when I was more of a monogamous stitcher. So I had that one permanently on my hoop stand, and I just, every single day I was working on it, and then all of a sudden I was stitching on it one day and my hands cramped really badly and my thumbs were killing me, and so I had to stop stitching on it, and I've never had that problem before. And then I took a couple weeks off of stitching, which I hated. Actually, maybe that was in 2023. I think it was actually in 2023, now that I think about it. It wasn't that long ago. And so I haven't really worked on that project that much anymore. And then ever since then, every time I work on projects every single day, or a couple times a day, my hands start to kill me, and I'm not really sure what causes it. I have not gone to a doctor or anything, but I know if I kind of like space things out and I don't do a lot of hand intensive kind of things, then I manage it pretty well. I take turmeric every day. I have tried Epsom bath salts, soaking my hands in them with some Alka-Seltzer. That kind of helps a little bit, but it's really just kind of annoying and it doesn't help as much as work as it is. I've tried a certain hemp lotion on my hands. That really just annoys me because I don't like having lotion on my hands when I'm trying to stitch. I think that's about it. I feel like I wear gloves, like hemp gloves and copper gloves. I've tried everything. The next thing I'm trying is when I sleep at night, I used to sleep with my hands curled up. So now I'm trying to like sleep with them laying flat out so they're not being worn down. The other thing is I'm pretty sure my hands are, or my whole body is hypermobile. So, and I did like there's a name for the test. I can't remember, but I did the test to try to see if I have hypermobility, and I passed with flying colors. Not really a big surprise here because I have always been really, really flexible. But my hands absolutely pass. So one of the tests is if your thumb can reach your hand here, and my thumb definitely does. Both of them do. And then the other one for your hand is if your arm is at a 90-degree angle, like sit down by your side. And if your pinky can go 90 degrees or backwards more, then you definitely can count the points for your hypermobility test. And I'm pretty sure mine go to 90 degrees or more. I don't do that one as much because it really hurts afterwards. So that kind of also got me to notice, like, yeah, maybe there's something going on with them. The other thing when I'm stitching is when I hold the needle, my thumb bends inwards and puts a lot of strain on it. I feel like your thumbs are supposed to be like this, but my thumb goes like this all the time. So it kind of like bends past the point of where it should be. And that's really just the problem that's been going on. So I try not to overwork my hands as much as possible. I might have been stitching a little bit too much the past 2 days and they are a little bit hurting. So no stitching for me tonight. And yeah, so I hope that kind of answers that kind of question. That's what's been going on with my hands. So I just tend to over push them a little bit and I get those problems. So I've always been really overworking my hands. So it's kind of like, yeah, of course I'm gonna have problems with them. So that's that. The only other life update really is just the weather. It's gotten cold again. We have not had 60-degree weather in a while. It's just been down into the 30s and 40s. The other day I went to give the cats water and their water was frozen again, which was lovely. And it's not like exposed to the elements, it's in a covered building. It went into the 20s that night, so that's been fun. Hopefully the cold weather goes away soon and we can get some warmth back in here. I really want some flowers. I want plants to grow, and I want the warm weather to be back. But it'll be here soon. Okay, that's about it. I don't really have anything else to share, and I've just been talking a lot. So I will see you all in 2 weeks, and I think that's it. Bye.